Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I should probably put a warning out. Some of the stuff that I'm going to have to talk about, I need to talk about this. And this story is going to be shocking. So this video is definitely not meant for anybody under 18. There's some shocking allegations from Tucker Carlson. And I got to talk about this. Okay, this morning I'm going through the news feeds and I come across a story, several stories. Links will be down below. And there's going to be a clip down below from X, from Twitter. I can't say X. I still, it just doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, there'll be a clip of Tucker Carlson on the Adam Carolla show. He was on Adam Carolla a few nights ago. And a lot of these media outlets, they're left-leaning media outlets that I watch. And the way they're describing him is, Tucker Carlson's on a rant and, he's kind of off his hinges and some of these bizarre allegations. And that's what it looks like at first. And so I start getting into this story and picking it apart because he makes crazy allegations about Obama. So, of course, I don't believe this. And I'll get into the specifics in a second. And I start writing down all this stuff about the person making these allegations and his past history. And I got pages of notes here. And then I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a second. I'm missing something here. And then I realized Tucker Carlson might not be all that crazy like a fox. And I'm not trying to give him too much credit here, but let me explain. Okay, so he's on Adam Carolla a few nights ago. And I'm going to talk about this real quick. But Adam Carolla asked him about Trump because there was the interview with Trump and Tucker Carlson. Oh, and by the way, Trump, of course, he said, this is the biggest social media event ever. This is one of the things that scares me. Somebody that could be a possible future president sitting down and talking to somebody like Tucker Carlson. And you'll see what I mean in a second. Some of the allegations that Tucker Carlson made. And this is somebody that could, it's obviously either he's insane and ranting and off his hinges, or he's a psychopath, a sociopath, and he's lying, and he's very good at it, which is even more scary. Okay, so Tucker Carlson's on Adam Carolla, and Adam Carolla asks him if they are going to let Trump be president again. I'm not busting on Adam here, but I think he's kind of playing into Tucker Carlson because it's always they when you're talking with the right. They're coming to take away your rights. They're doing this, they're doing that. The swamp, the deep state. So are they going to stop Trump from being president? And Tucker grabs right into this like he knew it was coming. And he says, of course. And then he starts at the beginning about how Trump was picked on from the beginning. Oh, and he says that a lot of the stuff from January 6th when he was impeached was fabricated. Some of the stuff from January 6th was fabricated. Really? So I saw that with my own eyes. I heard that with my own ears. I saw Trump stand in front of the crowd on those big video screens that look like something Orwellian, and saying, you better go back up there and fight. And then I see the whole crowd go up there and tear the doors and windows off pretty obvious. And then try to break in and the gallows, Mike Pence. Pretty clear what happened there. I think Tucker Carlson, the only people that are going to believe him are the people that have their ears and their fingers in their ears and their hands over their eyes saying, no, it didn't happen. But anyway, okay. And then he says that Trump is headed towards, and this is I'm quoting Tucker Carlson here, that Trump is speeding towards assassination. And that's not the craziest thing he said. And then he starts talking about Washington and how everybody in Washington thrives on politics, which is probably true. And he starts talking about media and how they depend on politics. And you could tell, now that I've thought about it some, you could tell that this Tucker Carlson had this all planned out. Because when you first looked at it, it looks like a crazy rant. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Because then he talks about how the media ignored allegations back in 2000, I believe it was 2008. Allegations of Larry Sinclair, and I'll talk about him more in a second. He says there were allegations that the media ignored about Obama, that he supposedly, I don't even know if I can say this, that he indulged in, he smoked crack and had sex with this guy, Larry Sinclair, in a limousine. This guy, Larry Sinclair, this is the first I've heard of Larry Sinclair. But supposedly he's been going around making these allegations for years now. And so Tucker Carlson spews this out on national television the other night. So I'm kind of shocked. And I fall for it. And I started looking up, like, well, this is how could he say this on TV? So I started reading the allegations, and I started reading about Larry Sinclair. Larry Sinclair, this person making these allegations about how he was in jail, how he's been arrested for theft and drugs and forging checks and lying. And he's in a mental institution. So I started writing. I started making all these notes. Then I started looking at it as like a, so I'm trying to think, this is crazy. Obama wouldn't do that. This never happened. So I'm trying to think of ways to prove it. Now that I'm in it, I was trying to think as a former crack smoker myself, that I could look at Obama and say, no, this didn't happen because, like now I'm into physical exercise and everything. But back then there was no way that I could both smoke crack and have a normally function the next day and exercise and and do anything. So just looking, I was trying to think of ways to prove this is it's insane. Or did he see Obama's privates? I'm trying to think of anything to say this guy's obviously crazy. And then I said, whoa, wait a minute, I'm actually falling for this. Here's the thing. Obama, I think, is one of the favorite presidents, so don't take me wrong on this. But you have to look at it for another look. You have to stop, because I fell for it. I fell for the trap. You got to back up and ask yourself, so what? So what? What's your point? So what if he did? So what if Obama did do this? What's your point? Is he running to be president? Is he going to hold any public office? No, unless he's going to be Biden's vice president. In that case, that's quite a shocker. And I was actually wondering about that this morning. But so what? He's a private citizen, and what if this did happen back in 2008? I've told you guys I was an addict for 2.5 decades, and I did some pretty bizarre stuff. I'm not going to get into it now, but yeah, pretty close to what we're talking about here. All right, so with me, can I be arrested for this? Can I be in any trouble for this? And I actually drove a truck, which is even more, I think, probably even more dangerous than I think Obama was allegedly a senator, I think, in a limousine when these alleged allegations. So I don't believe it for a second, and I love Obama, but here's the point. So what? So what if he did? What's your point? We have Trump over here who, like I said, I obviously saw him in Washington urging his followers to go back and take their country back and take their vote back. And I see them go up and break in the gallows, Mike Pence, the threats, Nancy Pelosi's office, all that. The doors off the hinges, the stuff all over, the stuff they stay carrying stuff out of the building, and I see Trump starting it all on the big video screens. All right, so now we go back to Obama. So what? So what if he did? What's your point? Can he be arrested for that now? No. And who cares? Really, who cares if he did? And then I realized I fell for this. Tucker Carlson had planned this. I believe he planned this all out in like a smokescreen to get off Trump and to turn it around and to enrage Democrats, own the libs. And I fell for it, crazy like a fox. So what if Obama did? What's your freaking point? Who cares? Really, who cares? Is it illegal? Can he? It was illegal then. I mean, the use, if he did use, but so what? Can he be arrested for that? No. What's the point? Who cares? And the media, because Tucker Carlson's saying that the media didn't report on this, and they're reporting on Trump. So again, Trump's being treated unfairly. Well, the media doesn't report on people. There's hundreds or thousands, there's thousands, tens of thousands of people out there that think the Earth's flat still. Is the media reporting on that? Or are they going around saying, no, the Earth could be flat? No, because they're bizarre allegations. When you're in the media, you are supposed to look out for false stories and to not spread fake rumors. That's why they didn't put it on there. But then I realized Tucker Carlson, all these media sites, the links will be down below. They're saying it's a rant and he's crazy and this is why he's going off his rails and I fell for it, crazy like a fox, because I think he just did this to enrage people, to take the heat off. Look what Obama did, that whataboutism. And really, I stopped and I was like, I don't need all this stuff about Larry Sinclair, the guy that made these allegations. And there was stuff about polygraphs and how he bribed the polygraph, or how the polygraph guy was going to get $100,000 from the Washington Press Club, and that he and then Larry Sinclair bribed them with $75,000. So I got pages of stuff I'm writing here, and I was like, whoa, who cares? What's your point? So what if he did? He's a private citizen now. Can he be in trouble for it? Can he be arrested for it? Anything like that? No. So why are you talking? Who cares? It was a smoke screen. I look back at this and I think Tucker Carlson had this all planned. Let me know what you think. The links will be down below. I'll be back later with another video. You guys, God bless Obama, one of the best presidents in the history of the United States. You guys have a great Thursday.